So these are our hip release stretches. So these aren't exactly stretches, they're more kind of quicker movements. So the more often we do these, the better. This is kind of a daily one. It doesn't take super long, but it's gonna just gently release some of the stress and some of the tightness in our hips. And then we can spend some other times going in on some deeper stretches. Our foam rolling, our normal pigeon stretches, that kind of stuff. But these are some simpler ones that we can do kind of anytime. So first one we're gonna do is we're gonna do some hip circles. So you can sit on the ground. You can also do this one in your desk. This is an awesome one to do sitting in your chair kind of throughout the day. But we're gonna do most of these on the ground, so we're gonna start on the ground. So we're gonna rotate around. So I'm getting a big circle with my chest. So if you're familiar with yoga, we like to do kind of thinking cat-cow, going forwards and backwards, but we're hitting those spots in a rotation as well. So kind of puffing out my chest. I've got an arch in my back. Shift sideways. Now I've got that big cat back, that rounded forwards. And we're gonna go 6 in each direction. So I think I've done 3 here. You might get some clicking. I definitely have some. And that's okay. We just wanna stay kind of on the edge of that clicking. We don't wanna push into any pain. And that's the last one there. And then we're gonna go the other direction. So again, chest out, kind of pushing my tailbone back. I've got this scoop in my back. And then when I come through, what way was I going here? I'm gonna come to the back, and then I've got tailbones tucked under, rounded shoulders, come up, puff my chest, round everything in. So I've got a great big C right down to my bum. And again, I don't know how many I've done there. Next movement, we are on our backs. This kind of knee hug in. Again, something you've probably seen before. Instead of rocking, what we're gonna do is we're gonna cross the ankles a little bit. I'm gonna shift sideways so you can see better. And I'm just gonna use my arms to roll around. So again, I'm getting some loosening in my sacrum. I can feel some clicks in there. So that very low part, the part of the back that's kind of goes through the hips. And I'm using my hands, and we're gonna do 10 to 15. Right now I'm going clockwise, doesn't matter what way you start. And I am thinking of rolling that sacrum, so that lower part of the back, along with the hips, we're kind of rolling it around on the ground, giving it a little bit of a massage, a little bit of that low back massage. And we'll go the other direction. Again, 10 to 15. Sometimes I kind of lose count, trying to breathe through here. Really loosening up our hips, letting everything go. All right, next one we're going to do is we're gonna lie out with our legs straight. So kind of get relaxed, pull those shoulders down, try and get that upper body in a nice relaxed position. So hands on the floor, hands on your belly, wherever's comfortable. And we're just gonna waggle our feet in and out. We're not doing this in a really intensive way. We're not getting anything, nothing should be burning. There shouldn't be too much muscle. But we're just trying to move, so we kind of have a ball and socket joint in our hip where our femur, that top part of our leg, meets into our hip, and we're just kind of twisting it in. So this is a movement we get a lot, especially as we start to get tighter hips. Our feet don't necessarily like to rotate, so you might even notice if we do one leg at a time, one's a little bit tighter than the other. So I definitely have more range, and this just moves a little more fluidly on my right. And my left hip's a little bit tighter for me. And we can do both at a time. And we're gonna do around 50. We're gonna do this anywhere between 30 seconds to a minute. Trying to relax everything. Make sure you're breathing. Again, shouldn't feel like too much, but this is gonna be loosening up all those little pieces in the hip. And our next movement, same thing, we're gonna lie out straight, but we are going to be on our bellies. So hands can go kind of wherever, kind of tilted, wherever you need to. And we're gonna rock our hips side to side. Again, really gentle movement. You're not really forcing anything. You're not squeezing. Just kind of letting it go wherever it wants, waving our butts. Feet aren't really pushed into the ground. Everything's just kind of relaxed. Again, breathing. I know the breathing feels a little bit weird face down, the belly pushing into the floor. And again, we're doing this 30, 45 seconds, letting those hips relax. And that will probably contain your low back as well. And last one. So if you like being on your belly, you can stay there, or you can come on your back. You can bend your knees if that feels a little bit easier on your back, wherever you're comfortable. And we're going to take 5 nice deep breaths. And a couple things we're going to focus on when we're doing these breaths. One is that we're going to unclench our pelvic floor. So if you feel like you're holding, like holding in a P, you might notice that those muscles are kind of always tight, especially if we're stressed. So we're going to let those muscles go, let that relax. And then we're going to take some nice deep breaths. And what we're going to think of is our diaphragm's right at the bottom of our rib cage. We're going to think not just belly, so not just forwards. We're going to think 360. So I'm breathing into the front of my belly, I'm breathing into the side of my ribs, I'm breathing into the back of my ribs. I'm expanding not just in the front, but all the way around. That's diaphragmatic breathing. We're going to take 5 really nice deep breaths and slowly let it out of our mouth. So if you can, ideally in through the nose, out through the mouth. If you have to do both through the mouth because you're stuffed up or whatever, that's okay. Goal would be to get nose in. So 4 seconds in, somewhere around there. And then maybe 6 to 8 seconds out. Trying to make that exhale a little bit longer than the inhale. Again, so I'm going to let you do these on your own. I'm not going to count it out for you. You find what pace works for you. But we're doing 4 more nice, deep, expanding breaths. Again, checking on the pelvic floor, see if you scrunched it up. I know I did. That's something I'm still working on myself. But once we've let those 5 breaths, we can kind of chill out here. If you're good, you're good. But these are some simpler movements that we can do on a regular basis that aren't a heavy duty stretch that our muscles aren't going to rebound to. So it'll kind of help gently relax and release some stress out of our hips, which is where a lot of us hold it.